everybody. Trying another evening stream of the Gig Workers Hangout, as we're going to talk about all things gig worker delivery, as well as side hustle, future business endeavors, all sorts of things. So as you come on in, just say hello, give a thumbs up, give a like, start commenting away. Want to hear how everybody's doing tonight. Did you deliver today? Did you stay in? It's midweek, right? So midweek can vary a lot from location to location, and even from week to week around here. Sometimes our midweeks are can be really good. I had a couple of like $300 Wednesdays just a couple weeks ago, and then the last couple weeks Wednesdays have been really slow again. Never kind of know. I did not do a lot today. I had the kids this morning while my wife was at work, and so I did the Costco drop, and that's all we did. We just got two batches from Costco, like $35 for 10, 12 miles, something like that, for 15 items. Really simple. It was not a crazy Costco drop or anything like that, but we just did something, and then we did grocery shopping for ourselves, and then went home. So I did not do a lot today. It's like $30 Costco drop um, for two. But did you do a lot today? Did you deliver a lot? So, anyways, you're coming on in. Say hi. Say how things are going. We want to talk and address debt reduction a little bit tonight, and just because I know a lot of people in the gig world are delivering because they're trying to get out of debt. And so I want to handle a couple things on this. Um, and so we'll kind of dive into it. And as you have questions, just kind of start posting down below. I'll just reply to things as best as I can. And if you have questions about debt reduction, gig work, delivery work, side hustle stuff in any way, definitely bring it up and we will do this. So debt reduction. First of all, are you in debt? That's kind of my first question. You can just give a thumbs up, or I don't know. That kind of seems opposite how I want to be. You just yes or no, yes or no. I'm in debt. No, I'm not in debt. Um, I am. I have debt stuff that I'm working through. I know quite a few people that uh, I'm in connection with have some form of debt, whether it be student loans, credit card debt, um, you know, all sorts of things. So, do you have debt? Yes or no? If not, congratulations. Keep it that way. If you are, is it in a phase where you're really overwhelmed, or is it in a phase where okay, you're kind of on a plan, you're managing it, you're making some steps towards that? So I would love to hear this, and we're gonna. I like hitting on pain points. I mentioned this last night, and so thank you to everyone who joined. And last night was our biggest live stream that we've had yet. But I want to hear your pain points with debt reduction, but I also want to kind of maybe open a little window of hope for those of you who are struggling with debt. Um, I think the vast majority of people who are doing gig delivery work are doing so either because they're in debt or because they don't have the true financial freedom that they want to have. I I know there's a small core group of people out there who really truly enjoy delivering food and would do it for a couple $100 a day on a regular basis. But I think a lot of us probably. So if I have no debt, what credit card do you recommend to start off with to start building credit? All right. So I got to be careful that I don't actually show my credit card on screen. Um, so I'm not an expert in this by any means, but thank you for tuning in, Jesus. So if you're not in debt, a couple of things. This would be for anyone. If you're looking to get a first credit card, make sure you have a plan to be paying things off every month. Okay. I know Dave Ramsey is out there. He'll tell you never get a credit card ever. Um, and if you don't have self control, that is definitely 100% the plan. If you don't have self control, whatever bonuses you might get for having a good rewards credit card, um, go out the window immediately once you start making interest payments. Okay, so that's just my general caveat. I'm not here to tell you get a credit card, don't get a credit card. If you're going to get one, I would start with one that has a lower balance just so you can get used to it if you've never really made payments and never dealt with credit and having that bill. Um, I haven't researched a lot of stuff that's out there right now. I personally like the Citi Double Cash credit card. It's I like it because it's 1% when you purchase, and then you get an additional 1% when you pay off. So it's like 2%. It's on everything. Are there better credit cards depending on what your specific needs would be? Absolutely, there are. Like there's good airline mile credit cards and different things. And I would definitely talk to some of your friends because they might have good referral bonuses. I have a couple of friends who are always talking about their airline mile credit cards and different things like that. And they can usually, if you affiliate through them, you can usually get a good deal and they get a good deal and everybody ends up happy. So if you have a credit card, if you're watching the stream and you have a credit card that you really like as a starter first time credit card, post it down below for Jesus that you can really give him some tips. So I like the Citi Double Cash because I don't have to worry about like jumping categories or spending only in a certain category. It's just 1% when you make the purchase, 1% cash back, and 1% when you pay it off. So if you're paying off, you're getting a consistent 2% cash back on everything. And if you're not making additional purchases that you wouldn't normally, it's essentially like 2% off every purchase that you make, and staying up to date with that. So definitely, but do lots of research. There's probably better channels out there than me for that. But if that's something you guys are interested in, like all these things, what I love about these lives is hearing where your guys' hearts are at and what you need, because I'll work with you to learn stuff too. If it's not an area of my expertise, I'll either find an expert. I'll be like, oh, who's the Pawn Stars guy, right? Like, I got an expert for this. I got an expert for that. I kind of feel like that with some of these things. Like, I've got friends who are experts at eBay. I've got friends who are experts at selling on Amazon. And so if you want to learn some of these things, like I'll do my best to, if I'm not an expert in it, to at least reach out to people. And one of the goals here, if we can build up a good enough audience that it would be worth the time for some of these people to come on and share with you and do some live streams and say, hey, let's just do a masterclass live stream on how do you start selling on eBay? How do you start selling on Facebook Marketplace and different things like that? And even like I got friends who know credit cards really well. And so definitely want to hear that. So you are welcome. And again, keep posting questions. And if you guys have any good credit card recommendations for Jesus, go ahead, please post them down in the stream below. Before we get too much further, what are you drinking tonight? I forgot to bring a drink. This thing looks really crazy. Hopefully that looks like as blue to you. I don't normally drink soda, but it was like kind of our last day of school today for the kids. So we did celebration stuff. We did make your own hoagies, subs, whatever you call them. And then I let the kids pick out a couple of fun drinks. So this is the 7-Up brand of berry lemonade. So there's no way that this can be good for you. There's absolutely no way that something this color can be good. It's like the color of blue Gatorade, and it's just like pure not good for you. But it's a celebration day, and I think that's good to do. So, and so kind of going on this idea, if you are in debt, so I want to just address a couple of things. One, stop pretending like you're not in debt if you are in debt. Okay. And I'm not saying this to shame you. In fact, it's just the opposite. I want to free you. One of the hardest parts in my debt journey was coming face to face with the fact that I was in debt. And I want you to know and you to understand that you are not alone. So if you are in debt, whether it's small, large, doesn't matter, right? It's a weight. It's a weight that's holding on you. And I want you to know you're not alone. And part of what this channel is about is how do we do DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub as best as we can. But that's really just a stepping stone here for getting to something bigger and to something better for you. Because if you would tell me, if we sat down face to face, drinking coffee or drinking berry lemonade, right? And you told me in 5 years from now, this would be my ideal dream job. And we're not talking about things like winning the lottery and you just like sitting by the beach all day. Like, okay, yeah, all of us might like that sort of thing. But if you said, look, I understand that I'm probably in a situation where I'm going to be working for quite a few more years, right? If you're in debt, you're probably not close to retirement. I mean, and if you are, then obviously we're working through this. But if you could sit down and say, 5 years from now, I would like to do this. I would like to develop my own private label brand. I would like to be learning how to flip real estate, right? Like all these big things that seem pretty much impossible where you're at. But if you'd be willing to say that, it's like, hey, let's do that. Tommy Thunder, you're in. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for commenting all these videos. Your comment, I'm trying to get reply to all of them as you comment on them, and then like multiple people start seeing these videos that hadn't been seen for a while. So I appreciate you so much, and thank you to everybody who's already smashed that like button. Appreciate it, and appreciate you guys and your time. So if you would say, okay, where would you like to be 5 years from now, right? Like this is the thing, and so much. It's so easy to get frustrated with a no tipping customer on DoorDash today. But we have to realize, like, look, we're going for bigger things and we're going for greater things here. And so part of that process is coming face to face with debt if that's part of your current journey. And again, if you're not in debt tonight, great, stay that way. Stay out of debt. I promise you. Now, I'm not saying don't leverage credit cards for rewards and all those things. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't use debt wisely in terms of, but I'm just talking about just stupid debt. Okay. And hopefully you guys can understand about this. This is not enough financial advice, but just avoid stupid debt. Okay. And so if we can do that and we start working our way out, all of a sudden we realize, okay, if this gig delivery isn't your dream job and something else is, what can you start to do to take a hold of the direction that you want to go? Okay. And yeah, hit that like button. I appreciate it. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done that too. Like we had such a huge boost yesterday. Through one of the shorts that I posted, and then getting introduced to another group, and then the live stream and everything. Like I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate you giving a small channel a chance. Like that's all these small channels out here. That's all we're trying to do is just ask for a chance. And I just want to serve you in the best way possible. So what can you do to move, take a step in that direction and this debt process? Now, I want you to be both hyper focused on eliminating everything that's keeping you in debt, and at the same time not forgetting about what's most important. So what I wanted to share a little bit, and I don't know if you can see it, but my shirt is kind of dirty because I just got back from baseball practice with my son, and it was his first year eligible, and he made 8 to 10-year-old all-stars. Now I know, like in the northern half of the country, like you're just like in the middle of your baseball season. We're already in like our all-stars postseason down here. And I can easily say, like, okay, I'm in debt. I should go out delivering and different things like that. But I need to be careful that I'm not missing the moments today that matter in the lives of my family too. And it's a difficult balance, right? Sometimes we do have to take that stand and say, look, I have to work today. I have to make enough money. But on the other hand, you need to realize, like, look, if you get debt free, but you lose your family in the process, what is it worth? Right. And so the biblical principle here is, what does it profit a man? Okay. It's like the Bible verse. I know not all you are Bible people. That's cool. Like, even if you're not a Bible person, just get the principle here. What does it profit someone to gain the whole world, but forfeit their soul? In other words, what if you get debt free? What if you get your dream job? What if you do that, but you've burned every bridge along the way and you've declined to take care of your family's health, your physical health, your spiritual health? Like, what if like sometimes if you accomplish the one thing, but in the meantime, you've been so tunnel visioned that you've just hurt all these people all along the way. Like, that's just not going to build you in the direction that you want to go. Okay. And so I'm going to step it back down now here within this world of gig delivery. Okay. Because I know that's where a lot of us are starting. That's where a lot of us are at right now. So you're in debt, right? And then you go to a restaurant and it's one where the food's not ready. And then you start snapping at the restaurant workers. How come the food's not ready? And this place is always so far behind, right? So now your problem, you are now starting to take out on other people, right? And then that restaurant worker gets upset and they mess up the order. And then you deliver it to someone else. You make the delivery and it's wrong because the restaurant worker messed it up because you made them upset. And now the person you delivered to is angry. Okay, wait a second. So what? You made $10 on that delivery, but in the process, you ruined two other people's days. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about, yes, I'm in this situation I don't want to be in, but what do I do on the other hand to bless the people that I'm going to interact with today? And when you can start to find common ground with people, right? And so this channel, we talk about a four-step process of how do we grow in these areas, and it's serve, learn, grow, adapt. And so I have to start my posture every single day with, I need to serve people, right? I need to choose to put myself off to the side, and I need to put the needs of other people first. And that's hard to do when something isn't working or is broken inside of you. It's hard to do that. But I also believe it's absolutely the best practice to do. And look, if you can't take that order and serve, now I'm not saying you need to give the red carpet service to every single delivery you get. Like, I definitely think that you can provide an extra level of service to someone who's an extra friendly customer. I'm not saying that, but if you're going to be trash talking somebody just because you just decided to take their order and they decided not to tip, and like you're upset with them, you know, we can't do that to people. Hey, no, I don't appreciate you so much. Appreciate the subscription. Like, I care more about becoming the person I want to be than even about getting out of debt. Okay. Right. Like, I want to get out of debt because I don't want that to define the person who I am. But I could go the way that all these corporate heads do, right? Like, with the multi-million dollar salaries, and you just cheat and you just steal and you do all these unscrupulous things, right? Like, you can do it, but so what? What have you gained? What have you, like, yeah, it feels good in the moment, but what have you truly gained? And so I just want to challenge you. If you're sitting in this debt box right now, whether it's a small debt box or a large debt box, doesn't matter. What if you started to turn your whole mindset around and say, okay, I want to serve people first. And if I'm going to take this order, right? Like, so today, like I said earlier at the beginning, if you missed it, we just did a Costco drop. It was me and my kids. Just took a Costco drop. It was like 30 some dollars, two deliveries, 10, 12 miles, 15 items. Nothing super hard. 3 cases of water was about the hardest thing, but not a big deal. I packed my 3 kids and all that stuff into a Pontiac Vibe. Okay, still no the update from yesterday. Still no Infinity in my driveway. So keep keep bugging Infinity. That was the short I posted yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Calling out the Infinity dealership for making fun of my Pontiac Vibe. But packed it all in the car, dropped it off, delivered it. There was minimal communication. There was no hidden tip, no bonus tip. Like, one person, I didn't even communicate one bit with me. But you know what? We put everything together. We served them the best way possible, and like, that's what we're gonna do. And you know what? I didn't have any interaction with either of them, and go from there. Epic. Thanks for helping the algorithm, Epic. I'm not gonna read that though. So, you guys are awesome. I know it gets wild in these chats. So at some point, oh, I love it. So, um, I have kids and I've worked with teenagers in my life, and so there's not really that much stuff that goes crazy. So, hey, Lucky, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spreading a good message. Glad the world will take care of you. Hey, you know what? Like, I want to do. Hey, thanks for the beer. It is super gross right now. Like, it was hot and sweaty, and I got like baseball dirt all over me and stuff. I was like, I'm just gonna go live so I can just. I'm gonna be delivering all day tomorrow. So, you know, um, so I was like, I gotta get to bed earlier tonight than I did last night. But I appreciate you guys and all of that. But anyway, after Epic posted, I have no clue what I was saying. Anyway, point being, don't lose what's most important in your pursuit of something that's also very important. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you what your priorities should be. Okay, that's not my job. You need to make those decisions for yourself. But if your family is your priority, if your relationship with God is your priority, if your community service, volunteerism, whatever is your priority. Don't lose those things in the pursuit of something good and burning bridges along the way. And because um, you might just be one good conversation away on a delivery of meeting up with a person in your community who can bring your idea to life, right? Or who can be a future partner with you, who can be someone who can offer you a job. What if that connection hooks you up with a 40 or $50 an hour job down the road here? And all of a sudden it's like, hey, I get all the perks of DoorDash, plus the pay is like double what I normally get or triple what I don't know what you make normally on those things. Like, so be looking for these opportunities for these. So serve, learn, grow, adapt is what we're all about. And I have to, I'll be 100% honest with you. I have to reset my button to serve um, multiple times per week, because it doesn't take long. And if you start scrolling all the various gig delivery channels that are out there, it doesn't take long to come across negativity. Now, here's the thing. I have no particular love for the apps themselves, right? I think that they generally don't care about you. And that's my general message. However, that has nothing to do with the focus of your life, right? So like, control what you can control, what you can't. And so I just really want to challenge you, like, as we're going into a weekend here, right? I don't know if it's going to be a busy weekend. I kind of think it's going to be slower because I think a lot of people partied this past weekend, and we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming up, and at least around here, those are some of my better delivery days. Like, can you open your eyes to something that you've been missing in your pursuit of either getting out of debt or just starting to build up, that emergency fund? You're starting to build up, money towards the next project you want to work on. Is there something that you've been missing, some opportunity to serve people, serve customers in a better way? Have you gotten lazy? I noticed this last week. Here's an example. And this is what I like about this, because I just want to be real with you, because I'm not here to trick any of you into thinking I'm this awesome person. There's something I noticed over the last week. I got really lax in just even caring about putting food in the hot bag. And just be like, oh, it's easy to justify, right? I can easily tell myself, well, it's hot in my car, it's hot outside, you know, it's not a big deal if the food just sits on the seat instead of taking that extra step to put it in the hot bag. Like, I got lazy and I just wasn't providing the service that everyone who did it, who uses these apps, should at least have some level of expectation. Now, if you say, well, they didn't tip, they don't deserve that service, I would just simply say, if they didn't tip, don't take them if you can't provide that service, right? Just flip it around on you. What can you control? You can control whether or not you take that. And if you say, well, I have to take every order, then I strongly encourage you, on like DoorDash, go earn by time if you have to take every order, because then at least you're going to get paid by DoorDash a little bit better. You're still going to get no tip orders, but you're going to get higher base pay. That's just my personal recommendation. Um, but that just in general, don't take it. Build up your margin so you don't have to take it. Yes, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done that. I think I'm going to be wrapping up here. But if you have any other questions about any of this, like, definitely want to just kind of keep sharing things other than Epic's question. Because who really knows? Who really knows what I do? That's why you just take a shower. Then you don't need to worry about either of those answers. If you can't see it on live chat, then it'll be here. All right, buddy, just being here and trying to help makes you a dope dude, for real. Appreciate it so much. Yes, and Tommy, thank you too for introducing me to a bunch of really cool people yesterday, and like, it's cool. I've been just trying to figure out the right time for this. Yeah. Oh, hey, Lucky, I get it. There are a lot of people, but so here's what I would challenge you to do, and this was almost going to be my topic tonight, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit, just out of curiosity. Like, have you tried something new? Okay, this is my just general challenge, and I'm going to, again, I just pull from my life. Okay, I've been doing this live stream every week for 2 months, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. You can go look. Okay, I use the same picture for every live stream. Been doing it like Thursday morning every single week for like 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. Crazy amount of time, and never got any interaction other than like one or two random comments, and usually they were my friends who just happened to know that I was on and doing that. And I made a change. I tried something new last night of going live in the evenings, even though that's when I'm kind of tired and I'm like, I want to try to do it. And I was able to reach a whole new group of people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again tonight. Like, I can't do this every single night, but maybe 3 or 4 nights a week I can do this. Um, and in addition to trying to keep pumping out, like the edited videos and stuff like that, like, so what I would say is like I have parts of my town. Um, hey, awesome tornado! I appreciate it so much. Like that, it was fun hanging out last night. I know I had to quit early, but I so I have a part of my town, and I detailed this yesterday. I think roughly my zone for DoorDash is 30 miles north to south and 20 miles east to west. Okay, and the whole eastern half of my zone tends to either be high mileage, good tippers, but super high mileage with no restaurants, or there's a really low and no tipping zone. Now, sometimes I get brought out there, um, but what I try to do is I try to really limit how much time I spend in those zones, and I try to work with different things. So I would just challenge you to say, depending on how big your zone is or whatever, I would look to try to find um, something along the side of try dashing in a new zone. Try something a little bit different. I have lots of, not a lot, but I would say 4 or 5 DoorDash zones to the north of me. It's about 45-minute drive to get to some of them, and I haven't done that there. But I definitely need to explore those areas and see, because one of the things I used to get catering orders all the time before tiers rolled out, and then they disappeared, and now I'm platinum dasher on tiers, and 3 weeks in or whatever, 2 weeks in, whatever it is, I've still not seen any catering orders. And I'm talking, I was getting 3 to 5 catering orders a day in my town, a day. Okay, and you can go back and look because I documented some of it on Super Bowl Sunday. I did a 24-hour dash, got $600 in 24 hours. And that didn't even have a ton of catering orders in it. That was just a busy Sunday. But you can look to some of my other ride-alongs that I did, getting tons of catering, still not seeing any on tiers, even though I'm a platinum dasher, 80% acceptance rate. So I'm a little frustrated with it, but to me, that's a puzzle I need to work out. I got to figure out what's happening here. I keep calling DoorDash. They keep telling me my catering bag is on and it's good and I should be accepting catering orders, but I'm not seeing them. And I'm frustrated for real, like I am. But if I really want to like test this out, like I need to go try out some other zones. I need to really push myself and say, okay, maybe. So, and I get it, there are stingy people out there. So I would say if you live in a tip stingy town, DoorDash Earn by Time is 100% the best way, because you will have the opportunity to at least extract base pay from DoorDash. You're going to make DoorDash pay for it. Okay, especially if you care about keeping acceptance rate up. Okay, now if you're in the no, don't care about acceptance rate, like totally different strategy. Okay, but I'm really trying to give Platinum Dasher a good run, and I had my first like full, like Memorial Day. I did $300 day in 12 hours. I hit my $25 an hour. That's the channel goal, $25 an hour. Do I hit it every day? Not at all. Um, sometimes you can hit it for an hour or two, but to hit it for a 12-hour day, it's hard to do. But I did it. Um, and so like that gives me hope that there are some opportunities. But I switch between Earn by Time because so we're in a pretty rich area of the country, but like all of our business people are stingy tippers for lunch. Like these people who work at all these super nice car dealerships, and I'm telling you, like we have like Ferrari dealerships and we have all these high-end car dealerships, and they tip like a buck or two for their, you know, some of the stingiest business people. So it's not worth it for me to do earn per offer at lunch most of the time. Now I'll still try it, and I do usually earn by offer on weekends, but it just doesn't work. So if I'm going to turn on DoorDash for a lunch hour on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'm just going to go on earn by time because I'm probably going to be taking lots of Chipotle single burrito orders with $2 tips. But instead of getting $2 base pay or declining and tanking my acceptance rating, Now I'm getting $6 or $7 base pay plus a $2 tip, and I either keep my acceptance rate or I move it up, right? So I would just challenge you. I know this is kind of getting long-winded, and it's probably because I'm tired. I need to drink more of my blue ocean water here. Move out of that zone. Move out of that area. As soon as I hit my no tipping, low tipping zone within a zone, I'll shut off DoorDash. Or as soon as they send me one bad order, I immediately shut it off. Now I have the benefit that I can dash now anytime. Okay. But I don't play around with DoorDash. You give me a bad order, I shut it off. Okay. And this is my growing, I mentioned yesterday, I'm building my DoorDash conspiracy theory video in my head. I haven't recorded it yet. And stuff that I can't prove, but just my gut says is it. I'm a platinum dasher so I'm changing my mindset to I'm an asset to DoorDash. And if they're gonna punish me with stupid orders, I'm gonna punish them by saying, look, you're gonna lose one of your best dashers from being on the road for 5 or 10 minutes till I get to where I want to be. And maybe it doesn't do anything, but it makes me feel better. And I know because I did it on Memorial Day, or yesterday or whatever day it was. I got a really bad offer, $5 for 8 miles. I immediately shut off DoorDash. Like, I'm not playing that game. I went back to my downtown zone and then got a $14 for 12-mile order. Now that's not great, but it's better than the 5 for 8. And then I stacked it with another, $10 for 2-mile order on Uber Eats, and then we were good to go. Okay, so I'm just all I just want to encourage you to do is control what you can control with all these things. So anyway, I know that was a lot of talk for everything. Thank you, Tornado, for tuning in. Does anybody else have anything? If you haven't hit that like button yet, I appreciate it so much. Subscribe button. We do have a Patreon here as well. I don't have any patrons yet. So you can go over and actually you can do a patron for free. I have some of my content up for free, just like behind the scenes stuff. And then it's like $5 a month if you want to support the channel. But really, if that's not your thing yet, like, that's totally cool. But I do want to eventually build up enough where I can take on some crazy things. Okay. So I've got lots of, I wouldn't say Mr. Beast inspired ideas, but I would like to, on a smaller scale, do some sillier things with DoorDash and Uber Eats and different things like that. So I have some ideas that I'm planning, but just need to build up kind of like the support for that. So if that's something that interests you, you can pop over. There's a link down in the description below for that. Does anybody else have any other questions before we wrap up for the night? I probably won't be on tomorrow or this weekend, so it'll probably be like next week, but we'll see. I mean, if there's if you guys are liking it, I can pop on some other evenings. But yeah, the whole point is, like, yes, work to get out of debt, do it for sure, but don't lose what's most important to you while you're pursuing that as well. Like, a lot of you guys are married or have kids, different things like that. Like, those relationships are just super important. Appreciate you guys for coming on. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and if you're watching this later too, just feel free to add comments, and I'll try to enter them into like a future video. So, like, even if you didn't catch this live, throw comments and questions down below. Do that. Appreciate you guys so much. Working on the rating climb video. That should be hopefully, I don't know what day. Hopefully by Monday, I'll have the next in my rating climb of working up DoorDash to get to Platinum Dasher. Of course, that's past tense. It's already happened, but kind of that whole process. If you want to see a little bit more about my earn by time strategy and how I turn it off, and pause it when I get out of my zone, you can kind of watch that rating climb series. So we have that. That's still pretty relevant for those of you who are wanting to work up towards Platinum Dasher. Otherwise, thank you again so much. You guys are so awesome. Have a great night.